Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome to another logo design challenge. Today I'm going to be redesigning the Atlus Games logo. Full disclosure on this, I am not by any means a gamer. I am pretty good at Super Mario Bros. 3, but that's about it. So I don't know anything about this company. Actually, I had never even heard of them until I saw them mentioned in an article a couple of weeks ago that they have one of the logos that need to be redesigned. And I took one look at it and I wholeheartedly agreed with it. So I kind of have an idea of what I want to do, but I just want to jump in and get my hands dirty with it. Before we get started, just a reminder, please hit like and subscribe at the bottom. Also click the bell for notifications to be notified for all future content. Now let's get started. All right, so I've got my document open here in Illustrator, but we are going to head straight over to Adobe Fonts, and we're going to just kind of look for something that might be a good fit for Atlus Games. So I think that what I like the most about this, and this is going into this without knowing really anything about the company itself, and I'd rather actually go in blind about it. Besides the fact that I pulled up their current logo, and I also see this one here. I actually like this one better than this one right here. To me, this looks like almost like an airline company or like something that's super corporate. It doesn't communicate games to me at all. So I kind of have an idea of what I'm wanting to do, and I think that what I'm looking for is probably going to be more along the lines of like an Art Deco type of style. Something to kind of call, like in like the feeling of gaming, and I also kind of want it to be a little bit retro, just to kind of call like to the old school days of gaming, but I'm not 100% sure yet. So really I just want to kind of find, like I said, I have a general idea. So I want to go, I want to find the font that I'm looking for and then just kind of go from that point. And actually, so out of all of these, there's not really a whole lot of these Art Deco type of fonts here, but I really do like, I like this one right here, which I already have activated, this Acier Bat. Not sure exactly how you pronounce that, but I also like this one, Tipoteca. I really hope I'm saying that correctly. So I think what I might do is, and I just kind of have an idea. I want to activate all of these real quick. And, as we all know, Adobe Fonts is notorious for taking forever to activate. So I want to just activate all of those. And I think I may try a combination of these two fonts together. Maybe use the A from one and then a different A from another one. So I'm just going to experiment a little bit with this, and I'll wait until those are fully activated before I start my timer. So let's see if by some miracle they've already activated. I did see my little spinning wheel, so that's a possibility. Let's see. What's the name of it again? Tipoteca. There we go. Let's see if that has actually activated yet. Okay, maybe not. And I think that I was going to try to do this one here, the Arbotech. That's a cool one. Okay, so this one has activated, and I actually really like the overall aesthetic of this font a lot. But and this A right here kind of reminds me of Airwalk, like from the 90s. Just put a circle around it, right? Okay, so I want to wait until that is activated first. So while we're waiting for that to actually activate, I think what I'll do is just kind of generally go over the plans of what I'm looking at doing. And I'm sorry, I completely forgot. For all of you hardcore gamers out there, that is supposed to be a U. I'm so used to, like, whenever I type the word Atlas, I'm so used to putting an A in there. So sorry, that was a muscle memory thing. But hey, at least I got it corrected before we actually got started. So no fear. All right. So okay, you know what? I don't think that. I think that just because that one hasn't activated yet, I think I'm just going to go ahead and go with these two concepts. And between the two of these, I like everything about this except for that S. I'm not too big on the S, and I'm actually not too big on that S either. It almost looks like it almost looks incomplete. And is that readable as an S? I hope so. What is this? Oh, that's interesting. So just like a... Huh. I don't know. It almost kind of looks like, you know, like a remnant of like a button on a controller or something like that. So, but I think I'm going to go just a little bit safer with that. So, okay, let's see if this has activated yet. You know, this right here, it's a lot of variations of this font. So I'm going to check one more time, and if it hasn't activated yet, then I'm just going to move on. Let's see, what is it? Tipo. Okay. All right, it's not there, so I'm just going to move forward with these, and let's go ahead and start my timer just so I can stop cheating. Okay, so let's go into here, and what I'd like to do here is I'm gonna kind of break, or not really break the rules, but just kind of bend the rules a little bit, because you know, most of the time this logo is going to be appearing, you know, on digital format, you know, like gaming systems and things like that. Sometimes it'll go, you know, like it'll definitely make its way to print in some areas, and you can obviously plan for that. But for the most part, I think that I'm just gonna go for something that's very bright, colorful. And for some reason, okay, there we go. I was hitting M on my keyboard and nothing was happening, so I don't know what was going on there. So we'll just go with a completely black background there. And I'm thinking of doing something like, you know, nice, bright colors that kind of sit against that dark background there. And thinking of doing red, blue, yellow, green, and then maybe white. Possibly. What I like about the word Atlus itself is the fact that it's got 5 letters. So it's, you know, like it's a nice odd number of characters going on there. So that really allows you to do some interesting things with, you know, just kind of, you know, like symmetry in general. So I'd like to, since I've got the kerning on that exactly how I want it, I'm going to go ahead and create outlines. And I kind of have this idea of doing a stroke on it and then maybe doing like an offset path with it. For now, I'm going to change it to white just so I can see it a lot more clearly. And then from that point, we can just kind of play around with the colors. But offset path, what I'm thinking of is kind of like this this really minimalist version of an inner bevel. And I actually really like that. Let's see, which one do I like better? I actually think that this may work better. And then of course you can also do a solid shape as well. And I just want to really focus on the word Atlus for now. And what I did there just now is just make sure that everything is nice and rounded. So we've got these nice rounded ends right here, but I think I'm going to just kind of slightly go in and round these anchor points. This one is just a touch sharper than what I'd like. So maybe, you know, maybe right around 0.01 is good. And we'll do the same thing here. I think this one was 0.05. Yeah, so we'll just kind of do that. And then 0.01 as well. I'm not going to focus too much on, you know, the decimal places and everything, but just want to kind of get, you know, just overall nice and smooth at the ends of those anchor points. So we'll just do the same thing there as well. And let me see, should I just select all of them and then, you know, obviously it's going to be different for each one of them. So I think I'll just leave it like this. Okay, so now I'm just going to create the bevel effect by connecting these lines. And, you know, as you can see, it's just a real simple effect. You know, like there's not really anything that I'm doing outside of just adding, you know, just connecting the ends of anchor points to those corners right there. And, you know, this kind of thing is a little bit tedious, and it's not necessarily, it's simple in the, like, it's really simple in the idea, but, you know, you obviously want to have a separate, you know, like a separate version of the logo itself when you're going, you know, for like a black and white feel or something like that, which is one of the reasons why we're creating it in black and white. You want to start off with black and white, and then you want to add your colors later, just to make sure that your logo works in black and white as well as color. All right, so I think that we're good there. I wonder, just out of curiosity, if I did something like that. You could add a little bit of dimensionality to it, but I think I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay, so let's connect these to their corners. You know what? That one is a little bit off, so let's go maybe to like here. And then there, I think that's good. Well, actually, I think we'll just kind of... I won't rely on snapping for this one. We'll just kind of do something like that. And that's good. I want to center it a little bit more. There we go. That's better. And then we'll do the same thing here. It was like avoiding that one area that I wanted it to go to. So it looks like I'm going to have to do the same thing on the bottom too as well. So no problem, just a little bit tedious, but we'll get it. Okay, and then the same thing here, and then our beveling is done. So what I'd like to do after that, okay, so what I'd like to do after this is I do want to save a version of this, because I think that this, I really think that this works really well, even just by itself. So I'm going to just kind of save this down here, and then do, we're going to make live paint. Oops. So that way we can actually paint like the intersections of this, and then also give it some dimension by coloring the outside as well. So we just kind of keep some of the bright colors, maybe, and then we'll just kind of darken them a little bit as we go over to the side. What about if we did something like that, like all of the innards are white? It's possible. And what we'll do is we'll go in, let's see, maybe I should have, I'm trying to think here. No, I think we'll be okay with that. So let's go ahead and click into here, and oops, don't mean to do that. We need to actually grab our tool. Oops. And where's our tool? There's our tool right there. Okay, so we'll go a little bit, actually we need to not go a little bit darker, we need to go a lot darker, because there needs to be like an obvious contrast there. Okay, so that's good. I may actually brighten up this red, make it like a little bit more of like a candy apple red, something like that. Let's make it all the way red. Okay, yeah, that's better. Definitely has a nice, like a better contrast there. Okay, and then what we'll do is let's do blue for the next color, and this one I want to make it, you know, like almost like a royal blue, like, you know, like something like this, a little bit lighter than the typical blues that you would see. And you know, we'll do that, and then we'll just kind of darken this and go maybe. It's going to need to be darker than that. We'll go down to 50%. Okay, I think that's good. Right. Okay. Actually, you know what? I just realized we could make the innards black. That would actually be pretty cool. But I just want to go ahead and color everything first. So for this yellow here, you have to be kind of careful with, because you want to make sure that you know, especially on your digital backgrounds, that it looks good. But you also have you know, like whenever you darken yellow, it always looks a little bit muddy. So we want to try to go for something that's a little bit more charming than you know, so like maybe something like more on the gold side. I think that's good. Okay. And then we'll go with green, and green is another one that you kind of have to be careful with. You don't want this crazy, you know, lime iridescent green, unless that's what you're going for. But you know, you want it to have enough saturation in there, but not anything super crazy. And then for the darker version of this, we want to keep our saturation nice and high, but then maybe go for like 60% or something like that. And that brighter green is looking a little bit on the unprofessional side. So let's just kind of brighten that up just well, not brighten it up, but just really tone down the brightness. So really, I guess, darken it. Okay. And then, okay. And I think the last one I'm going to do is going to be purple. So we'll do something like this. Color those two, and then we'll go a little bit darker right here. Actually, I think we could go dramatically darker there. Purple gives you a lot of like a big range of options. Okay, so that's I think that's pretty cool. Although I you know what, I just got an idea, and it's gonna take a little bit for me to implement it, but I just want to try it. And that is, oh, you know what, we need to expand the stroke first. Okay, there we go. And then let's try to make live paint again. That way we can actually color the strokes. Wait, where's my... Oh, that's the width tool. That's not what I need. I think I clicked on the wrong tool again. Okay, there we go. Okay. So, do this right here. What if we... That's interesting. All right, I think we're gonna just select the same. You know what? I need to undo all of that because I need for them to actually be strokes that are not expanded. So how come I can't select the same stroke color? That's weird. Undo live paint bucket. Okay, and then undo live paint bucket. Undo. Wait, hold on. Am I undoing the color? Okay, I am. But okay, so this is where I want to be. Okay. And then we'll just select that and then just target the stroke color. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. I think that if you were gonna do something like this though, let me try this. Let me try live paint bucket and go with my original idea to make the inner ones black. So that way the outside edges, okay, that's pretty cool. I'm liking that. That way the outside edges of the letters kind of speak for themselves. That's cool. Okay, I actually do like that a lot. Do no stroke there. Okay, you know, what's better, stroke or no stroke? I honestly don't know. But I'm kind of going with this one right here because it reminds me of, you know, kind of like, it kind of reminds me of like Tetris blocks or something like that. So I think that I think this may be my final version of the word Atlas itself. And now let's just kind of add games to it. And I want that to be a little bit more on the subtle side. So it doesn't have to be, actually, let's go ahead and scale this down. Maybe to something like, we'll just say 8 inches. And the kerning here really needs some help. So let's go in and do this, or what you could do, and I'll actually try two different options here. But what you could do is you really could expand out the tracking. Although the G right there, the G is a lot wider than that S, so it is kind of throwing off the balance. So if you do something like this, okay, because the width on that is definitely too wide to kind of balance those two out right there. But I actually do like this, so I think we're just gonna have to go in and manually adjust this tracking. So this is 1/2 inch. Okay, the space between those is good. And let's just try the same thing again. I'm just gonna push it out by 1/2 inch. Okay, actually, so optically this needs to be out a little bit more. Maybe a lot more. Okay, and then we'll kind of do the same thing here. Okay, spacing there looks good. Maybe bring this in just a touch. And I think that that is good, so we'll combine those together. And then this is still one unit, so we'll make sure that we center that. And let's push it all the way up here. And then just push it down by like maybe 1/2 inch. No more than that. Okay, so Atlus Games. All right, I think that that's cool, and it definitely, you know, it definitely it definitely speaks more of that retro gaming, you know, just kind of calling back to the retro days of gaming. So let's see how I'm doing. All right, I've got 5 minutes left, so I don't think that I'm going to spend too much more time on this overall concept. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to go in and see if the other fonts have activated yet. They haven't. Okay, no big surprise there. So maybe I will try something with this. And we'll just kind of see what we can do with that. Okay, Atlus Games. And I wonder if we did something like this. Let's see. What if you did this? And this would definitely work a little bit better with like a mono font, like a monospace font. So let me let me just kind of see what we have. You know, normally you don't have a lot of options when it comes to monospaced fonts. And also, you don't want to mess with the kerning too much, because then, you know, then everything will just kind of get out of whack. But I did just have an idea. Let me see if I can actually achieve this in under 5 minutes. Let me see. But I just kind of had this idea of, you know, kind of like a table or like a grid, just kind of going through each one of these. Let me pause just for a second. Okay. All right, I'm back. All right, so I'm going to try to see if we can do something like this. This is probably going to require a lot more structure for what I'm wanting to do, but I'm going to try it anyway. I'm going to try to get it done in, I guess at this point I've got like 4 minutes or even less. So let me try. Do or do not. There is no try, right, Yoda? Sorry, I totally went full geek on you. Okay, so just kind of do something like this, and you know, kind of what I'm wanting to do is just I'm wanting to present, or not present, but well, present to you, I guess. Present two, you know, very different concepts. All right, so now those are perfectly spaced out, and then we'll just do this right here. That way we can line up those letters exactly with the space between each one of those. And then we can just kind of close up those gaps in just a second between the first and the second line. But I just want to get these lined up with each other. And if you know, for something like this, if you were to take away the actual table or the grid itself, it probably wouldn't work. But the fact that that it's inside of it, I think that it would work well. So let's try something like this, and then push it down by, that's good, like 1/8 of an inch. And then go all the way here to the baseline, not to where that, the bottom of that U and S are. Okay, and then we'll bring these up here, or down, I guess. Again to the baseline. and then we'll just close it up. All right, very cool. So that's the black and white version of it, and if I've got some time, I want to just see what it looks like if we thicken that up just a touch, not too crazy, but if we go in here and I'm just going to sample these the colors from this other logo real quick. And if I do run out of time, then I will finish coloring right here, because I don't really consider that to be cheating necessarily. I'm just finishing coloring. Oops. Make sure you hold down that shift key when you click on that color. There we go. Okay, good. And then since we have those five colors, 5 letters right there, I wonder, and there's my timer. Let me stop that real quick. Okay. And I'm just going to finish coloring here. What if we just kind of went reverse with something like this? And obviously, we would probably go in and refine some of these colors a little bit, since we don't really have a lot of dimension. This is very flat, but that's totally fine. So we do something like this. And for this first one, I really do like both of these a lot. For this first one right here, I would probably go in and maybe add, you know what? I'm going to cheat. I'm totally going to cheat. And I'm just going to add something real quick. So let's see. Remember exactly how to do this. Okay, pucker and bloat. And then we'll just go something like -50 or something like that. Okay. And so for something like this, when you've got like those multiple layers and just kind of adding a little bit more dimension to it, let's just take this down to one pixel. Maybe something maybe something like this. I don't I'm not gonna spend way too much time on this, but even doing something like that, where you just kind of add like a sparkle somewhere, I think I might do something I might do something like that, or maybe even at the S, just to kind of call a little bit more attention to that S, and then maybe fill this with black, so that way you've got the inner part of it black, and then just the outline of it to be white, like that. So just a little bit of cheating, just adding that little element right there. And then of course, just looking at this, I would definitely go in and kind of tone down the brightness of this, or may almost create almost like a pastel color palette. But just really wanted to strictly stick to the to the RGB, like red, blue, green, yellow, and then adding in that purple just to add in that extra color. But I think that this, both of these, are really good starting points for redesigning the Atlus Games logo, and I think that this definitely screams more gaming than this logo does, which this one screams airline to me. Like, there's nothing about this that communicates gaming to me. So I think I'm going to go with this one here. On the left side, just to kind of refine. And Atlus Games, you now owe me $20 million. Well, thanks a lot for watching me make myself $20 million today by redesigning the Atlus Games logo. That was a lot of fun. I really do like the colors that we put together, and then also just the overall concepts of doing that bevel effect with that font. It was cool. Just a reminder, please remember to hit like and subscribe at the bottom, and also click that bell for notifications. It'll tell you every time I upload a new video. Thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye-bye.